members of the board of Bank One, valued customers, executive committee members of Bank One, the staff of Port Louis branch, Bank One colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having taken time to attend today's inauguration ceremony. I'd like to start a little bit by sharing a little bit of the history of this building with you. So the construction of this building started in 1986, with the building being inaugurated on 8th May 1988. At that stage, we only had 3 floors. And subsequently, the bank changed hands in 1991, and the next 4 floors were constructed. That construction started in 1994 and was completed in 1998. So today, 28 years after the building was first inaugurated, and 18 years after completing the extension of the next 4 floors, we are here to inaugurate the newly refurbished branch and head office building. But today's inauguration is not just about a new branch and the new head office for Bank One. I think it's a statement of intent by Bank One to start a new journey to become the best bank in Mauritius. We don't aspire to be the biggest bank, but we are determined to be the best in our chosen segments and across all our stakeholders. I look forward to your support in this journey that we are undertaking. It's a pleasure to have all of you here at this important occasion, and I wish you good luck, and please have a really good evening. Thank you very much.
Dear clients, dear guests, dear members of the staff, it's truly a pleasure to be here and see what has been done with this branch. It's given a modern touch, and as Ciel, which is a 50% shareholder in that bank, we are very pleased to be associated with Bank One. I've got to say that 2 of our strongest values are partnership and good governance. And I think it's very relevant, and we're very pleased to have with us today our partners from Kenya, from Nairobi, because that's a true partnership which has worked exceptionally well. We, as Ciel, have got a strong presence in the Indian Ocean, in Mauritius and Madagascar, particularly in the banking sector. And the INM Group is very well positioned in East Africa. So together we came in 2008 and turned this bank, which we all recall was loss-making at the time, and made a true success out of it. So partnership is a great thing, and I'm very proud to say that this partnership is as strong, if not stronger today than it was in the first day. So thank you, Sarit, for being here on that occasion. We really trust each other, I feel, and we're going to keep on growing that bank for much better days, and hopefully that's also our objective, is to be the best bank. Second is good governance, and I'm very pleased to have Mr. Minister with us. It's a true pleasure. You know, banking activity is a very serious activity. We have always taken it with extreme care, and despite us being a diversified group in the region, our governance in the bank, the way the board is structured under the leadership of the chairman, Mr. Proctor, and all the board members who represent the shareholders, but also strong independent shareholders, we've got a very good, I would say, corporate governance structure, which ensures that everything is transparent, done in an ethical way, and of course we count on all the stakeholders to make sure that this is the way going forward. So thank you all, and I won't be too long, and wish you, the bank, all the staff, everyone, all the clients, you can be assured of our complete endeavor in giving you the best of services. Thank you very much.
First, let me present my apologies of my colleague, the Minister of Finance and Economic Development, who unfortunately couldn't make it today. So that gave me the opportunity to come and say a few words to you. And I had an event at the FSC. They are launching their online submission system. Just driving down, I was asking myself, what am I going to say? So I have no prepared speech. It's just to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing on the financial services side of things since the new government came in December 2014. I still say new government, it's already nearly 2 years now. But basically, one of the things that we decided to do was to come up with a new vision for the financial services sector, which of course is of much relevance to banks as well as operators in the financial services sector. And I hear that Bank One is doing very well in terms of non-banking financial services activities also. So basically we decided that we needed to change the landscape in terms of all the international obligations we had. We had to sort out double tax treaties because they had been lagging for 10 years, 4 years, and the international obligations were such that we didn't have much choice and we needed to address those issues. We had some requirements which were imposed on us by the European Union, by the OECD, and we needed to align all our strategy and vision in terms of what was happening at that level as well, or else we would have the world moving in one direction and Mauritius would have been left behind, picking up the pieces. And basically we decided that we were going to create a new landscape. And that landscape, I'm very glad to say now, is in place. It's been implemented through the budget, the Finance Act. There are so many incentives which have been given to investors to come and set up investment banks in Mauritius, captive insurance, regional headquartering, global headquartering, asset and fund management, and also in terms of overseas family offices, which is a new concept. And of course, whilst doing all of that, we also looked at structures. And only last week, we passed an act in Parliament to create the whole concept of LLPs, limited liability partnerships, which is also going to give much more flexibility to businesses to be able to operate in a Mauritian context. And then one thing I had at heart was to basically attract the global law firms to Mauritius, because when you bring those law firms, they bring with them their portfolio of clients, and very quickly you can have a different sort of level of activity taking place. So now the FSC is going to be licensing the global law firms to do their advisory services in Mauritius, and all of that is creating that new landscape that we wanted to develop. In terms of institution, as policymakers, we very quickly reactivated the Financial Services Consultative Council because we very much believe in a participative approach with the operators in the sector, with the regulators and the policymakers sitting in one room and looking at where things are, brainstorming and coming up with new ways of doing things, better ways of doing things. So then we reactivated the Financial Services Promotion Agency, and you can all link up with FSPA because they are doing a fantastic job promoting Mauritius abroad. I was talking to Mr. Dale in terms of how the media, the Mauritius Export Development Investment Authority, was operating in the 80s and the 90s, and of course we've had the BOI, the Board of Investment, but now we do have a specialized promotional agency, the Financial Services Promotion Agency, which is operating, and there's a huge pipeline of investors that are bringing to Mauritius. I'll just give you an example. I myself participated in some of these missions, which is basically well documented in the press. Every time a minister leaves Mauritius, you will see that, in some newspapers it is mentioned that you are on a holiday abroad, which is not the case. Because we work hard there also, I must say. At least I do. But basically, one of the people who we contacted, we talked to him, was Ashok Hinduja. And only last week he was in Mauritius. And they've decided that they are going to list their holding entity of all their Indian banking units on the stock exchange in Mauritius. And guess what? We're talking about at least $1 billion here, which represent probably 25% of the market capitalization on the stock exchange of Mauritius. Just to give you an example of when you manage to attract one high net worth to Mauritius and basically changes the landscape. Something else I heard this week, which was of great interest to me, that was the British company which decided to buy IFS, International Financial Services. And I was so pleased because I had, politics is a game at the end of the day, and I had, the previous Minister of Finance under the previous regime who works for IFS saying a few months back that the sector is dead because the vision which is being implemented at the end of the day is bringing a certain depth to the financial services sector in Mauritius. Well, I'm so pleased that he has been able to make a few billions on the basis of the confidence that the investors, the British company has in the system. And I'm waiting for that phone call for him to tell you, thank you, Roshi, you made me a rich man. And when he does, I'm going to tell you, you're most welcome. But that's another indication of basically where things are heading. The level of confidence is there. We've heard about the SR deal. I don't know whether you've read in the press, something which is going to happen, transacted through Mauritius, and you're talking about 400 billion rupees with the SR deal. So things are happening. And I very much believe that the new framework, which is in place, we are going to see things really develop in 2017 and 2018. And of course, this is not going to happen without you good people, because you are the one who are there, you are the one who conduct the business, you are the one who have the clients. And basically, when you grow your business, I can go and say, I've helped growing the country. Thank you very much.